Bravo, Konami! Kudos to you! I want to congratulate you from one man to a bunch of fucking goddamn hyenas on your coast-to-coast tour where you are raping, abusing, and cashing in on the Metal Gear Solid namesake and franchise, a legacy that you built up, one of the main pillars in your repertoire and your catalog of franchises that made you a household name. You were somehow able to go and do a double feature. Metal Gear Pachinko Gambling Simulator. That right there, you took Metal Gear Solid 3, my personal second favorite all-time Metal Gear game, and did that with it. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Not even in the fucking slightest, not even in the littlest fucking bit am I surprised by that. But you decided that you'd follow suit as if it's the year 2008 with Metal Gear Solid Survive. It's a Left 4 Dead clone where it's Metal Gear Solid nobodies, literally fucking nobodies. Just, I don't know, generic motherfuckers within a Metal Gear Solid universe, and this is a follow-up to Ground Zeroes. Keep that in mind, when Ground Zeroes ends, that's where this picks up at. Wow, what a great way to follow up with Kojima's game. Well, since he's not around anymore, how else can we do this? This is what happens whenever you don't have those kind of minds working for you anymore. Well, we don't have the brilliant mind of Kojima anymore, but we still have the Metal Gear Solid franchise, so how can we go and cash in? Well, we have done other games out there like Metal Gear Acid and Metal Gear Revengeance, and those weren't exactly the tactical espionage games in the part of the stealth genre that we're known for with the Metal Gear Solid namesake. Why don't we do a zombie game? Look. First and foremost, I love the living shit out of survival horror games, all things zombies, anything that's undead, anything that's just a horror game. I'm just like, fuck yeah to that. This looks like a fucking shit show. A pair of clown shoes that you literally just evacuate your fucking bowels inside of. Wow, it's to the point that you seem masochistic when it comes to the gaming industry, to the point that you could be a lot like the fucking stealth ninja himself. Just hurt me more. Like, that's... Calm the fuck down. Just calm the fuck down. I mean, you have fans that are just livid about this shit, and understandably so. This is a series that I knew you'd fuck up. I knew that you would fuck up because you don't know what the fuck you're doing, and you don't care at all. It's just cheap cash-ins as much as humanly possible. And I'm sure that you'll have a PR spokesperson who isn't getting paid enough, by the way, try to go and spin this shit and find the silver lining wherever it may be, even if they have to go and fucking paint it on themselves. It's like, oh, well, it's not so bad. I mean, did you see the graphics of him? The graphics are really nice, and we have the graphics, and the graphic, I mean, graphically, it's really, in those visuals, I mean, the aesthetic of it, and the graphic, and by the way, this fucking sucks. Sorry, it just fucking sucks. Nobody asked for this, nobody really wanted this, and I'm sure that there are going to be some folks out there who are like, Alpha, at least give it a chance. You haven't played it, so how do you know it's actually a bad game? Because it's modern day Konami! I've learned my lesson with this company. I've learned my fucking lesson. See, I already said the only way that I'd be willing to forgive this company is if they fired a shit ton of top people and got somebody, anybody who gives a shit about the gaming industry, because it sure as fuck isn't them, into those seats, making the decisions to do something with these franchises, hire back some of the fucking folks that left, that made them into something, and to do something with these titles, with these games, with these franchises that are beloved, that are enjoyed by many people out there, and that are going to be squandered in the hands of these fucking monsters. So let me get this straight. You got a bunch of shareholders who really enjoyed the fact that you're making a lot of money, and the Metal Gear Solid name carries a lot of fucking weight, and you really want to go and impress them, and you really want to go and follow suit, and you know the Metal Gear Solid name is the most profitable out of every other franchise that you have. You know, you can bring up the Conjuras, you can bring up the Castlevanias, but Metal Gear Solid, man, that's where the fucking money is. That moolah, man, you want that shit to fucking ring green? Then you've got to go and do stuff like, well, keep making Metal Gear games. But this isn't a Metal Gear game. We already know that. It looked generic. It just, you know what it looked like? It looked like one of those very many downloadable games that you see there. It's just like, you want to go and kill some zombies? Play now! That's what it looks like. But this is a Metal Gear game. I mean, Ground Zeroes goes and ends, and then all the characters get sucked up into a void, and then they're off into Earth 2 version of Ground Zeroes. Now they're fighting zombies. What the fuck happened? Like, did I miss something here? I mean, you got the fucking bow and arrow person, you got the Kalik looking motherfucker with the spear and shit, and you got Mr. fucking Boomstick. I'm just so unimpressed. I am so terribly unimpressed. A 4-player co-op experience that I just don't give a fuck about. And I know, well, maybe it's not for you, but it doesn't mean it's for anybody else. I'm not trying to tell anybody not to get the fucking game, asshole. Take the fucking fanboy shit, turn it down a little bit, and maybe listen. Yanking your head out of your ass, kind of difficult to do. I understand. People out there, they have difficulty with that. I mean, it's a lot of fucking pressure. Trust me, you gotta go and have the fucking gun show for that shit. But trust me, you can. I mean, do you need, like, the little fucking red robot arm to go and do that kind of shit? Get the fuck on now. Look, I love Metal Gear Solid as much as anybody else out there. But this is what I'm expecting the future to be for the franchise. See, when I had seen the Metal Gear Pachinko game, and I had seen all the visuals, all the cutscenes from Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater redone with a new gen aesthetic, just painted over, I was like, wow, that looks amazing. Just seeing all that shit was just like, man, that's so beautiful. It's a gambling machine. I know that you have the talent to be able to go and do something, but you don't tell any of your talented staff to do something good with it. You don't want them to be creative. You don't want them to take their creative vision and do something with it. You have your eyes on a prize that is something that is just so crappy. You're greedy. You see dollar signs and that's it, and you have such a short-sighted vision of the industry. You think that you can just coast along with your namesake of all these franchises, but their longevity is not as long-standing as you think it is if you continue to milk them and water down their overall value. Because all those people that would be jumping on board just because it has the label and title on it eventually will tire of it more and more and more. Then the titles become worthless and your overall company becomes worthless. And I get it. Profitably, you are doing just fine outside of gaming. So what the fuck do you care about all this shit? If anything, this is all throwaway stuff, and you could care less about all this. And that's the thing that fucking bothers me the most about you. Like, that's... like, watching it, it's like, this is so generic. This is so run-of-the-mill. This is so not what I expected out of Konami. Growing up with Konami throughout the 90s and the 2000s, I was like, one of the best companies in the entire world. Somebody debate and argue with me about that. And nobody would really be able to do that. No one. Not a single motherfucker. If you went back in time, if I hopped my ass inside of a fucking DeLorean and went and told my prior self, hey, you're going to hate the living shit out of Konami, and you're going to want to just lose your motherfucking mind every time that they announce, say, or do anything. I'm like, wow, future me, you're kind of a fucking dickhead and completely jaded. Also, really fucked up upstairs, because Konami's great. I fucking love them. I mean, they've only given me some of the best franchises in the entire world and some of the best licensed games in the entire world, from console to PC to arcade. I fucking love them. Fast forward to today, and that is not the case, as you all very much know, and many of you out there feel the same way as I do. Metal Gear Solid survived. I hope that you do not survive to see a fucking sequel. I hope the Metal Gear Solid franchise doesn't survive in general under the umbrella of Konami. I hope that eventually it just goes into somebody else's hands. I don't care how. I don't care what fucking twist of fate has to go and make that shit happen. I just want to see it happen because you don't know what you're doing with Metal Gear Solid. No idea. Not even a fucking clue. Not an iota, not a smidge. Fucking nothing. So, that's it. I have nothing else to say about this because it looks like shit and I won't be playing it, I won't be buying it, I won't even go near it. Take your fucking co-op experience, your 4-player fucking zombie shooting fest, and go somewhere else with it, because I have a million other games out there that already do this and do it a million times fucking better. I mean, they just re-released Metal Gear, or Resident Evil 5. Just re-release that. Well, I'll just go and play that. If I want to go and play Left 4 Dead, I'll go and play that. Oh, wait, and there's a billion other fucking zombie shooters with online. Fuck you. Oh, hashtag fuck Konami. Can never forget that. This is AlphaOmegaSin, as always, Nurse Nerds and Gamers Game. The fuck on.
It's time to stop!